Valentine's Day in Liberty, Missouri in 1866. A group of men rode into town. Two of them dismounted and walked into the bank. Inside, one of the men walked to the cashier and said, "I'd like a bill changed." Then drew a six-shooter, and almost as an afterthought said, "I would like all the money in the bank." Jesse James's men made off with $60,000 that day. This is one of the first bank robberies in the USA, and not the last for Jesse James. This is Jesse James's favorite gun. It is a Smith & Wesson Schofield .45, a single-action revolver. This is Jesse James at 21. This is another picture of Jesse James and of one of his gang members. This is Jesse James as a young boy and his brother Frank. And then this is the Jesse James gang again. Jesse and his brother Frank would remain at large for 15 years. The record included holdups of 12 banks, 7 trains, and 5 stagecoaches in 11 states. The successfulness of the James boys remaining at large was due to several factors. The boys in their gang were skilled horse riders and had excellent marksmanship. With these great skills, they used the basic method of executing a guerrilla raid by hitting the target by surprise on horseback and then quickly scattering into the countryside and hiding out in caves that had been scouted in advance. They could stay there for weeks on end. Since the brothers had been a part of a guerrilla warfare previously, they knew having the support of the local people would help them keep them alive. Many of the farmers did not like the banks because of tight money policies and high interest rates. The James boys stood for the last Confederate cause, gallant and defiant, thus winning the support of the people and making it almost impossible for lawmen to find them. But as time went on, robbing banks got harder because of the many townspeople trying to stop them, which usually cost them their life. The James gang moved on to trains and stagecoaches, but still rode away with lots of money. This kept the law hot on their heels. Many private detective agencies took it upon themselves to hunt down the James gang. But it was the Allen Pinkerton Detective Agency that did the most damage to the family by blowing off their mother's arm in a raid on their farm. As time went on, more people tried to catch them, and more people were killed. For years, detectives and secret state agents searched for the James brothers in Kentucky, Texas, and their native Missouri. My favorite story of Jesse James was one time when he got hurt. He went to this doctor, and while recovering in a hotel, he had dinner with his doctor and some detectives from the Allen Pinkerton Agency that were hunting for Jesse James. Little did they know that he was right across the table. Surprisingly, the brothers were able to live in a quiet home in Nashville, where they lived with their wives and family close to each other under false names. Neighbors thought them to be respectable family men who traveled for weeks at a time. The downfall of Jesse James and his brother Frank came when their gang members were arrested and talked. From their identity became more evident, and soon a $5,000 reward was put up for any gang member, and another $10,000 for the brothers. With the money as incentive, Bob Ford, a friend of Jesse's, stepped up to help his capture. He did this by showing up at his house and hanging out with Jesse and his family. Jesse knew before he was shot in the back that Bob was there to kill him. But Jesse played it cool and deliberately unbuckled his belt with 4 revolvers on it and throwing it onto the bed. He basically surrendered to his death. The date was April 3rd, 1882, when James was shot in the back while straightening a picture in his bedroom by his friend Bob Ford. His brother Frank surrendered 2 months later and was soon acquitted. He lived to the age of 72. Jesse and his gang robbed over 25 places in 15 years and stole $2.7 million. This ends my Jesse James oral report. Thank you for watching.